increase, saying that escalating the trade war won't benefit either side. Bloomberg's Irv Chapman reports.
China's economy is slowing and Americans are suffering from Chinese retaliation, so the U.S. trade negotiator Ron Kirk said in a Bloomberg interview.
We both need each other in order to achieve the growth models that China has and that we want to see to continue to grow our economy. So I'm hopeful that if we get to a certain level of pain, there should be enough mutual interest for us to try to work toward a resolution.
But Kirk fears that may not happen anytime soon. In Washington, Irv Chapman, Bloomberg Radio.
An investigation by U.S. health authorities into whether e-cigarettes can cause seizures has been triggered by a handful of people who reportedly use Juul devices. That's according to the Food and Drug Administration. The agency hasn't been able to formally verify yet that they were tied to Juul devices. Just because it's now legal for medical purposes or personal use in more than 30 states doesn't mean marijuana is somehow suddenly good for you. That's the warning today from federal health officials who say pot is way more potent these days, and that means even more harmful to adolescents and pregnant women. Surgeon General Jerome Adams says the science hasn't changed. It's still true. Marijuana is harmful to the developing brains of teenagers and the human fetus.
The earlier and more often a person uses marijuana, especially at higher THC levels, the higher the risk.
President Donald Trump is donating part of his salary to pay for a promotional campaign to highlight that warning. Global news 24 hours a day, on air and at TikTok, on Twitter. I'm Bob Moon.
Bob, thank you so much for listening to Bloomberg Business Week. Jason Kelly and Carol Mass are here with you at the U.S. Open. So maybe as we hang out at the U.S. Open, one of the people we might run across, because these are the types of people who tend to populate the U.S. Open, could be Bennett Goodman.
Well, he'll have some time maybe on his hands. A little bit more time. He's leaving Blackstone. And what's interesting is this is part of a group, GSO Capital Partners, right, that Blackstone bought a while ago. What's fun is we've been reading Steve Schwartzman's book, which we'll get some time to talk with him, and how he and Pete Peterson built up Blackstone, and this was part of the companies that they bought.
And this is an exclusive story to Bloomberg. Eric Chatzker and Sri Natarajan, who we have on this program a lot, I really, really highly recommend you read this story because it gives you, in not too long of a story, a real history of Blackstone, a real history of Wall Street. Then it goes all the way back to Mike Milken. That's where he got his start at Drexel Burnham Lambert.
Right.
His story is really one of modern Wall Street in a lot of ways.
I love it too that he says there's no plan to get the band together, meaning his partners in the GSO.
Yeah, Oscar and Smith. Yeah, exactly. And this was a huge moment, as you read in Steve's book, for Blackstone. 2008, it wasn't an obvious deal. No. This was a small firm that had essentially spun out of what was ultimately Credit Suisse, what was DLJ before. Tony James, the president of Blackstone, who had been Bennett's boss back at DLJ, he basically convinced Schwartzman to do this deal, and it was masterful.
Right, exactly. And James is now the executive vice chairman of Blackstone. But what's interesting is it really brought credit big time into Blackstone. Credit now accounts for a quarter of Blackstone's $545 billion in assets. It's more than hedge fund investments, almost as much as private equity and real estate, to give you an idea of how important it's become to this company.
It's a juggernaut. And as much as Bennett says not putting the band back together, he's certainly someone to watch. Got a lot more things to say and do on Wall Street. Big Soul Cycle fans, big fitness guy. I love talking to him.
And he's going to build a family office.
Yes, indeed. So very influential investor. Great story on the Bloomberg, one of the most read today. This is Bloomberg Business Week.
And check out the Bloomberg Business Week podcast. We've got interviews in global technology, politics, and economics, and harnessing the power of Bloomberg Business Week magazine. Find it at iTunes, SoundCloud, or at Bloomberg.com. A great listen for the right now.
Hey, it's Larry the Cable Guy. Need to catch me. Get the news. How are you after? Hey, meantime, we got some big news here at SiriusXM for the first time. The first time we've included listeners outside the car as part of our select package. That's right. Now you can enjoy SiriusXM on your phone, online, and at home too. Plus, you can hear over 100 ad-free extra channels of music on any move. Learn more at SiriusXM.com/more.
What does your office say about you? Your desk and office chair give the impression of success, but that worn-out plastic mat doesn't measure up. Get the look you deserve with a glass chair mat by the Latraza. I'm George Pardo, president of Latraza. Our glass chair mats are ultra stylish. They're made of specially coated crystal clear